What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Alyssa here. Great to see ya. How are ya? Today's Thursday. You're probably thinking, who cares? It's Thursday. Well, Thursday is pizza night in this house. Last video I posted was a full day of eating with my girlfriend Kendra, and we had pizza. It was also a Thursday, I'm pretty sure. But I've had a couple people reach out to me asking for the recipe of how to make the pizza. So today we are going to learn how to make the pizza. It's super easy. The dough is super easy. I actually get the recipe off of Pinterest. Pinterest is fantastic if you like to cook and you're looking for new recipes. People come up with some really good stuff on there. I'll link in the description below the recipe that I use for this dough. So what we're gonna do and how I make my pizza is we start off with some flour. There's 300 grams of flour that we're going to use. Now, I like to use a scale because it makes things much easier. Of course, you can do things like measuring cups, but it's nice to just get a solid number with the scale. So you're gonna need 2 bowls, one for your dry ingredients, and then you're gonna add your dry ingredients together, and then you're gonna put it in a bigger bowl and combine it with the wet ingredients. And then that's how you start like kneading and getting everything together. I've read that combining in a glass bowl and letting your dough rise in the glass bowl, it's better for it. So I'm gonna put everything in a glass bowl. And a spatula is gonna be your go-to to kind of like, at first get everything together and combined, and then you take it out and then you knead it. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna do 300 grams of flour. And then you want to come in with 6 grams of salt. Don't skip on the salt. It helps to give your dough some flavor. So then I'm gonna mix it in, kind of get it intertwined, nothing crazy. All right, got my dough and my salt mixed together. Then in another bowl, I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna do 15 grams of olive oil, or 1 tablespoon, 200 milliliters of water. And you don't want it to be warm water because that can mess with the yeast. So either cold or room temperature. I always get it from the fridge so it's cold. And then fast rising instant yeast. I just get this from Aldi. And you're gonna wanna do 3 grams of this. All right, mix this a little bit. And then I'm gonna take the bowl of flour and salt and just dump this right in. I like to use a spatula so I get all of the yeast, oil, and water out of the bowl. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just kind of like get everything together, mixed together until it's combined and makes a sticky dough ball. Just kind of intertwining everything. And guys, I'm no pizza expert. This is just how I make it, and it turns out and it tastes really good. Kind of like trying to push it together so I get all of the flour and everything combined before I have to touch it with my hands. Now that it's reached about that consistency, I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and start kneading it. Make sure you get some dough on your counter. You don't want it to stick all over. And then make sure you get some dough on your hands so it's not, you know, sticking to your hands as well. I'm gonna get that there. I'm gonna clear my bowl out, make sure everything's on it. And then I'm just gonna start kneading my dough to make sure that it's not sticky by the time that I'm done. Has a nice consistency to it. And I do this typically just for like a couple minutes. I don't do it for forever, but you just don't want it to be sticking to your hands, basically. So I do this in the morning so that I can let my dough rise for about at least 4 hours. If you want, I have also done this and then put it in the fridge for a later date to eat. You don't want it to be in your fridge obviously for too long, but you know, you can let it sit in there for 3 days and then have pizza. We're at a pretty good consistency. It's no longer sticking to my hands. So I'm gonna go with that. I don't wanna mess around with it too much. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour at the bottom of my bowl. I'm gonna set my dough ball in here, and then I'm gonna top it with a little bit more flour. I just cover it with plastic wrap. That's worked perfectly fine for me. I know some people cover dough with towels, put them in dark places, but I've always just covered it with plastic wrap, set it on the counter, and it's risen just fine. The pizza's turned out just fine. So I'm not gonna fix it if it's not broken. Got my dough in here, and I'm gonna let this rise for at least 4 hours. It's 10 a.m., so it's gonna rise for a little bit longer, but what I'm saying is give your dough at least 4 hours to rise before you try to cook it. This is 2 servings of pizza right here. And for the dough alone, no toppings. The only thing that has calories in this is the flour and the olive oil. So I cut this in half. I eat 1/2. Ken eats the other half. It's 612 calories just for this dough alone. After, you put the cheese and the sauce and whatever toppings you like, you're probably gonna rack up a couple hundred more calories, obviously. I'll let you know what the macros are after the pizza is done. I'll show you how to make the pizza. But yeah, keep in mind, this is 2 servings of dough right here, cut in half, split between 2 people. I love this pizza not only because is it delicious and fresh, I mean, it's a wood fire homemade pizza. You really can't beat that, but I know exactly what's going into my body. I'm not going out and getting Pizza Hut or Domino's, not bagging on them because Little Caesars is one of my go-tos, I love it. You don't know the amount of, you don't know what they put in their dough, you don't know the amount of sauce, cheese, whatever else is getting thrown on there. You know exactly what's going into your body. And you're not intaking and ingesting a shit ton of grease whenever it's something that you're making, as long as you're making it that way. So that's why I really like this. I will catch you guys whenever the dough is risen and we will cook the pizza. See you soon. So you want to lose weight, but you also want to eat things that you crave. One of my number ones is pizza. Favorite food. I could eat it every single solitary day of the week. Right now in life, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I still want to be able to eat pizza and other things that I enjoy. I understand that I can't eat those things every day, but I can also have them here and there. On the days that I want to eat pizza, I figure out and I calculate what I'm eating for my other meals to make sure that I can fit that meal in and still be in a calorie deficit. The calories are a little bit higher right now just because I came out of a cut and I'm trying to still lose weight, but also I'm not going super hard. So I'm trying to eat between 1,800 and 2,000 calories. I calculated everything out. Right now, what my intake today should be is around 1,917 calories. This is what I'm eating for breakfast this morning. We got cream of wheat cooked in vegetable stock. We have a dippy egg with some egg whites. There is some Never Any apple chicken sausage from Aldi. If you've never had this, I've turned so many people onto this in my family. If you've never had this, you need to try it. It is so good. Then we got some cheddar cheese, everything but the bagel seasoning, sriracha, and some sugar-free maple syrup. I think it's a delicious combination. It's topped with some parsley. Do I typically top my breakfast with parsley? No. But today, since it's on camera, we did. This breakfast is 480 calories. I eat it almost every day. I love it. It has good macros. That's what I'm having for breakfast. I'll see you guys at lunch. All right, welcome to what we're having for lunch. What I made today is a cheeseburger. Then we got some, about 100 grams of pineapple, 100 grams of cantaloupe. On my cheeseburger, I got some light Miracle Whip, spinach, red onion, tomato, sugar-free ketchup, mustard, 1 cat hair, and a slice of cheese. 96 4-ground beef on some 647 low-calorie bread. This meal comes out to be 404 calories. I'm also gonna have it with a Diet Coke. My new favorite way to melt cheese, Kendra bought me this for my pizza oven to ignite the pellets the wood pellets that you put into it. But I enjoy melting cheese this way now. Dangerous, maybe. Exciting, yes. I work from home and I desperately need some excitement in my life. I'm gonna eat this. I'll catch you guys at dinner where I show you how to finish making our pizza. Will you walk to Kroger and get me mushrooms, please? Will you walk to Kroger and get me mushrooms, please, for pizza night? Please? I'll give you an extra scoop. Don't lay down. Extra treats? Come on, man. I don't feel like it. Welcome, valued customer. Secured my bag of mushrooms. Kroger's about a half mile away from my house, so to get some steps in since I'm super sedentary, I just took a walk and bought some mushrooms since my cat wouldn't go for me. This week has been so crazy busy. I've been having a hard time getting all of my steps in, but gotta do what you gotta do. Trying to get my pizza night on, so here we are, walking to Kroger, getting some shrooms. Let's go! Thanks a lot for getting those mushrooms. I appreciate ya. I know you've been busy at work. What is up, guys? It's pizza time. Woo! Yeah! What does our boy Jesus Christ and this dough have in common? They've both risen. We're going to throw some flour down and get this baby rolled out. Our pizza oven, we have it heating up. So what you do is we have some Traeger pellets. We load the oven with wood pellets. Then you take my handy dandy blowtorch that I've been blowing everything under the sun with, or just cheese and pellets. And what you have to do is you have to ignite the pellets. Once they catch a flame, you have to let the oven sit for about, it says 18 minutes. I don't think you even need to wait that long. It gets nice and hot. You put your pizza in. You're supposed to put it in for 15 seconds per side. So say, even though it's a circle, 4 sides on the pizza, 15 seconds, open it up, rotate, 15 seconds, and do that 4 times. You gotta make sure you close the door each time, and it cooks this baby really quick. So, I don't know if you can tell or not, our pizza dough has basically doubled in size. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this big boy out. I'm gonna put it down here, and then I'm gonna directly cut it in half. So half of this dough will go to Big Mama Kendra, and the other half will go to my sweet ass. I'm gonna take her half and I'm gonna let it rest and stay in that bowl. This has been a big game of trial and error. You gotta make sure you use a good amount of flour because this dough sticks pretty good. And that's also why I like to keep hers in that bowl. It seems to stick to this counter more than anything else, and the longer it sits on it, the more it starts to stick. So before we roll this out, I got about 25 grams of shredded mozzarella, 30 grams of fresh mozzarella. I got a little bit of basil, fresh basil. I got a basil plant over there. She's about to die because I kill everything. Good old green thumb. And then I think I got about 35 grams of some mushrooms. We got our sauce, and then we got our secret ingredient that I'll tell you about when we're putting it on. So let's roll out our dough. And just to forewarn you, I never know the shape or the look of my pizza before it all depends on how it goes in the oven. Sometimes it's really hard to get off the pizza spatula. Sometimes it's really hard to rotate because the oven that we have is a little bit smaller. So I get very angry, and we're not gonna put that on camera, but you will see how this turns out. All right, now that I have my dough rolled out to my liking, this spatula, this is important here. If you ever get one of these or do this, you have got to make sure there is enough flour to slide this bish off, because when she gets stuck to this thing and you're trying to slide it into this oven and it's not going anywhere, it is not a good time. And that's when the anger comes out. So, just get some regular ass pizza sauce. I like Kroger brand. Do about 70 grams of pizza sauce on it. And I like to doctor it up a little bit. What do I mean by that? Let me show ya. Put a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. Now, the best part is, and if you watch my videos, you know how much I love agave. I do a little bit of an agave drizzle. And hear me out. So some people put sugar in their sauce. I put sugar in my sauce. It cuts the acidity a little bit. But the reason I put it on pizza is back when I lived in New York City, one of my all-time favorite pizzas, the place was called World Pizza Champion. And this little MFer was from somewhere in Europe. And he used to like take pizzas, light them on fire, and like spin them in the air, like 2 at a time, just do a bunch of crazy stuff. That's beside the point. My favorite slice to go get there, it was a whole wheat pizza crust. I know that doesn't sound incredibly appetizing, but it was so good. And what he would do is he added honey to his crust. And that sweetness was just like the perfect component. It just made for a really good slice of pizza. That's why I put agave on my pizza. Going in with 28 grams of shredded cheese. Excuse me, quiet on the set. And we're gonna pull apart our fresh mozz. Wood fire pizza like this, it doesn't need to be smothered in a ton of cheese. I don't know, like I feel like the way that it cooks it, it distributes it nicely for one, but for two, there's just like so many good components into like a wood fire pizza that you don't need to weigh the pizza down with toppings and cheese. Just like a little bit of cheese, some fresh toppings, like it's all you need. And then after I say that, I proceed to now put on 10 pounds of mushrooms. This is a light topping, so. And these, I'm putting these on just fresh, uncooked, because that's just what I like. And I feel like the flame's really gonna cook these through. Nobody wants no soggy ass mushrooms. Canned mushrooms are also the worst. All right, and then we're gonna do some basil. Now we are ready, as I stated, 15 seconds on each rotation. All right, see you guys outside. Come on. That's my best work yet. That's the most normal shaped pizza. The last time my pizza literally looked like that. Ah! $884 calories. 884 calories. Well spent. Not a ton of protein, obviously. Goddamn cats. Not a ton of protein on it, obviously, but like, yeah, 884 calories of you knowing exactly what you're going to get, exactly what you were consuming. Taste it real quick. Taste it for the people back home. Hope it don't burn my mouth off this.
So good.
That is so freaking good. I'm gonna cook Kendra's. I'm gonna let mine sit down for a second, and I will catch you guys after dinner. See you in a minute. Bye. This is the first time I've been 2 for 2. Look at this frickin' pie.
Oh,
It's so fitting. The person that's gonna eat it's a beaut. This pie's a beaut. It's not me, it's Kendra. Just two beauties. One consuming the other.
Thank you.
Sounds kind of weird.
Right. Thank you so
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Okay. So, today's total calories are 1,908 calories. As I stated, I'm currently trying to stay between 18 and under 2. So between 1,800 and 2,000 calories. I'm going to cap the night off with 3 of these bad boys. Just a little something sweet to hit the spot. These are dark chocolate covered coconut almonds. I get them from Aldi. They are phenomenal. So just a couple, hit that sweet tooth. Now, the point basically of this video is flexible dieting and being able to still enjoy the things that you enjoy in life and not always having to be so strict and so concerned about your intake and what you're eating. If you're tracking this recipe, it's spot on numbers and you can track it. It's much easier than tracking something that you would get at a takeout restaurant. Obviously, it's not some crazy low-cal hack of a pizza. It's a no funny business pizza. You know exactly what you're getting and exactly what you're putting in your body. And that can be very important when it comes to tracking. Yes, you can obviously go onto like MyFitnessPal. You can type in restaurants such as Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, those big chain restaurants, and you can look up what the calories are for a slice of pizza at a place like that. But it's an estimation. And the key word there is estimation. I say estimation because just think about it. Do you really think that some new freshly working 17-year-old that is slopping your pizza together, do you think they give a shit about your macros, bro? 9. No, they don't. They don't give a shit about that job probably either. And take my last experience at Little Caesars, for example. A very sweet gal that was working at the front. And we all start somewhere, so like I'm not judging by any means, but I don't know if she was new, but this pizza was different. The cooking of this pizza, she didn't really cook this pizza, to say the least. First off, this thing was drowning in cheese. So the calories in that part alone, there was so much more cheese on this pizza than the estimated amount that I guarantee is in MyFitnessPal, because I'm telling you, man, like this thing was drowning. Not to mention it was extremely undercooked. And now, not that being undercooked, that department matters when it comes to counting calories. But my point is whoever put this pizza together, there wasn't a whole lot of like, this pizza was just thrown together and there were a lot of excess calories probably in this pizza just from the cheese alone. My point is, when it comes to one of my favorite foods, which is pizza, I can still eat it and feel more comfortable doing so and not feel guilty by just making my own. Granted, I do have a really cool oven that Santa bought me, so that obviously makes a difference because I've never made it made homemade dough and then put it into the regular oven. But having this, I can still enjoy one of my favorite foods. It's homemade, and not only is it absolutely delicious, I know exactly what to track, and there is zero guilt in the consumption of it. So if you're interested in buying a pizza oven, the one that I have is a Bighorn oven. I'm not sponsored by Bighorn. I'm not promoting or doing any of that. I'm just saying that oven's great. The pizza turns out great. 10/10 would recommend. Now you guys know how to make a simple dough recipe. I'll be sure to link the Pinterest recipe that I go off of below. If you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, maybe even press that bell button, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.